Shalom, y'all. I'm Digital Crates, and I want to welcome y'all to the Rappers and Rabbis Hip Hop Shabbat service and Cypher, where we bring together hip hop and Judaism in a creative way with our own remixed prayers and songs based on the typical Jewish Friday night Shabbat service. I'm so happy to have some people already joining in on our live stream. I just want to take a second to thank the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West New Jersey for their support of this program and all other programs that we do. Last night, we had a program about mental health awareness. It was beautiful. It was an open discussion on mind, body, and soul, and how to align yourself spiritually, physically, and mentally to be the healthiest you could be. We're going to keep that theme going this weekend. We're going to talk about love and kindness and mental health awareness, mental health and physical fitness, and how important it is to have a connected mind, body, and soul. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to kick off this service with a video that will explain a little bit more about what Rappers and Rabbis as a fellowship is all about. Thank you all again for tuning in. Here's the video.
From Jersey down to Philly, though it sounds sorta silly. Rapper, rabbi, those guys really? Like everything due to COVID, we had to innovate on our innovative plans. Community building without buildings. We launched a series of virtual programs igniting a community that's gaining momentum every week. This is a innovation appreciation type of creation. 2020 took plenty of concentration. Focus, we need a hocus pocus. COVID got communities feeling hopeless. COVID hit the nation, we had to innovate on an innovation. How we stay focused on community building when we can't gather people into a building. All I wanna do is zoom in a Zoom room to build the nation up. All I wanna do is zoom in a Zoom room, and we are grateful, yeah. Our Beat Midrash averages over 50 people each session. Our Facebook has grown 1100%, and we've gotten some notable press, including in hiphopsince1987.com. This is a innovation appreciation type of creation. 2020 took plenty of concentration. Focus, we need a hocus pocus. COVID got communities feeling hopeless. Thank you to everyone. Special thanks to Yafa and her team. And we hope to see you at some of our online events. Every Thursday, we start at 8 o'clock and go till about 10:30. From Jersey down to Philly, though it sounds sorta silly. Rapper, rabbi, those guys really?
Yeah! So that's a clever little video to describe what our fellowship is all about. We are a group of rappers, rabbis, and entrepreneurs helping to build the community. And as I said in the video, we've been doing a lot of online community building throughout the last year. And we're hoping now that things are opening up around the country to get back to in real life events, Shabbatones, schools, camps, and just teaching our hip hop way of Judaism to those that are seeking entertainment, but also in the spiritual realm that want to be entertained. We're working on an album. We're going to have the album online probably in September. It's going to have 8 songs and be all produced by us, Rappers and Rabbis, as a group. I'm very much looking forward to everybody to hearing this music. So what I'll be doing tonight is I will be previewing some of that music, and I'll be playing some beats that I produced and worked on that are based on prayers from the Shabbat service. So let's join in together in praise for the first song as we enter the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi is roughly translated as Come My Friend. It is the hymn sung during the synagogue service on Friday night to welcome the Sabbath. It was composed by Solomon Alkabetz, who was a mystic Kabbalist. The Hebrew goes, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabbalah. Come, my friend, to meet the bride. Let us welcome the Sabbath. Observe and remember in a single command the one God announced to us. The Lord is one, and his name is one, for fame, for glory, and most importantly for praise. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play the beat that I worked on for Lecha Dodi that we're working as a group and turning into a song. So tune in right now and silent pray as I play the beat for Lecha Dodi. So that is a hip hop rendition of Lecha Dodi that I composed myself and tuned it into a hip hop referenced anthem, which we will soon have bars and flows and some melodies from some of the more musical members of our fellowship. Normally, I have some members of the fellowship as special guests on these Friday night services, but we also do Saturday night Havdalah services. So tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will have some special guests to join us as we actually open up the prayer Cypher and have people rap along live to some of the beats that I'll be playing. So now I'm going to do something really, really, really special. I'm going to have a world premiere. For the first time ever, I'm going to play the official Rappers and Rabbis prayer remix of Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu, roughly translated into English, is "Oh, how good," or "how goodly." It's saying how good the Sabbath is. It's a prayer in Judaism expressing reverence and awe to be sung in synagogues, but also in other places of worship. What makes Judaism so special is you don't necessarily have to be in the synagogue to pray. You can hold a service in your home. You can hold a service at your overnight camp, which a lot of young Jewish people are doing at their opening weekend of camp this weekend. You can have services outside, as a lot of people in synagogues are still in this time of COVID doing their prayer services outdoors. The prayer begins with Numbers 24:5, where Balaam, sent to curse the Israelites, is instead overcome with awe at God and the Israelites' house of worship. Its first line of praise is a quote of Balaam's blessing and is thus the only prayer commonly used in Jewish services that was written by a non-Jew. And that's so hip-hop in its reference. Hip-hop was built on so many samples of songs that were not made by hip-hoppers. The first ever rap song that went commercial and success was based on a disco song. Today, rappers and hip-hop artists sample so much different kinds of genres of music, but then they make it their own. And that's kind of what Rappers and Rabbis is all about, is taking these ancient prayers and hymns and making them our own. But in making them exclusive like that, we still want them to be inclusive so that anyone can enjoy them. This Ma Tovu, the remainder of the text, is derived from passages in Psalms relating to entering the house of worship and preparing for further prayer. In this vein, the prayer is recited upon entering the synagogue. So along with Lecha Dodi and Ma Tovu, it's just like a classic 1-2 prayer punch in kicking off the service. So shout out to Text Rich Ali, who produced this next song. And I'm going to play y'all the world premiere of Rappers and Rabbis, Ma Tovu. Thank you all so much again for joining in. I hope you enjoy this video.
May Hashem gift us with the warmth.
Welcome, my people, please sit where you want, sit where you want, sit where you want. An eye on inside and two eyes to the front. eyes to the front, eyes to the front. Your spirit alive, the Shekhinah, she's home. Shekhinah, she's home. Shekhinah, she's home. So feel out the vibe to feel it is flow. To feel it is flow. To feel it is flow. Hip hop on play, now get ready, let's go. The didgeridoo and the shofar will blow. The rhythm is given, just follow the flow. Community singing my tovu, my toe.
Cypher is when the community gathers in a circle-like formation where everyone is participating, no one is spectating. What's happening in the Cypher is individuals are demonstrating their most creative and authentic self-expression. That could be beatboxing, it could be dance moves, it could be rapping, both written or improv, which we call freestyle. The Cypher is about peace, it's about love, and it's the hip-hop community way. It's about love, peace, it's about love, and it's the hip-hop community way.
Prepare for prayer, Hebra come grab a chair. Congregation for community, Mr. Yaakov for mayor. Warm welcome, greetings of shalom. Get comfortable and make the synagogue your home. How goodly are thy tents when they're blessed by their children, their parents, family and friends. Minyan, ladies and gents, gather the crew, let's do what we do. Rappers and rabbis, the motto vu rendezvous. Motto vu rendezvous,
The intention of the Cypher has everybody have an opportunity to be unified and experience oneness. Unified. One. Opportunity. Unified. One. It's about love. About love, and it's the hip-hop community way.
So that's our Matovu prayer remix produced by Text Rich Ali and the Rappers and Rabbis crew, featuring Purple on the sermon, if you will, talking about how peace and love is an essential part of not only Judaism, but the hip-hop community in general. Hip-hop is such an open, artistic expression. People in hip hop do art, they do graffiti, they dance, they sing, they rap, they preach. You kind of do everything you can to make a whole cipher, a community, if you will, all in peace and love. So now we get to a very special moment of the service. The central part of just about any Jewish prayer service is the Shema, which in Hebrew means hear. The Jewish confession of faith is actually made up of 3 separate scriptural texts, which together, along with prayers, forms, like I said, the most integral part of any Jewish evening or morning or afternoon service. It's recited, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Amen. The Shema is one of the fundamental Jewish prayers nearest and dearest to many Jews' hearts. The Shema comes straight from the Torah. It says, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, meaning, listen Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. The Shema is written in the mezuzah on our doorpost and on our gates. The Shema should be recited out loud and typically with one's eyes closed or covered so you can hear and feel the spirituality of the prayer. The Shema helps a Jew and anyone interested in prayer and service imagine and feel how the whole world is connected. The Shema defines one force that takes expression in the multitude of reality. I'll say that again. The Shema defines one force that takes expression in the multitude of all of reality. The Shema taps into almost every Jew's center of their practice of Judaism. So what I'm going to do now is debut for you a new video that we have on our YouTube page. You can go to YouTube and search Rappers and Rabbis, and chances are this Shema remix featuring Matt Bars and Textrich Ali will be one of the first videos to pop up. Over the last couple weeks of doing these services, so many people have texted, called, sent private messages to say how awesome this remix of the prayer is to them and to their family and their friends. So here we go, the Shema remix by Rappers and Rabbis. Thank you all again for joining in.
One time for your mind, one time for your mind. One guy from the squad, one guy from the squad, one guy from the squad. One time for your mind, one time for your mind. One guy from the squad, one guy from the squad, one guy from the squad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
Breathing what is Holy Spirit like? 1 foot, 1 love, and 1 mic. 1 race, 1 God, and 1 light. 2 hands, 1 left and 1 right. The many and the all involved in one fight. When divisions the plight is solved and we unite. Cause one ain't free if all ain't free. And you are not you if I am not me. Contemplate, elevate with the Elohim. Rappers and rabbis, one hell of a team. Building with the Musar, expressing a few bars. Traveling so far to the side of the shofar.
One of a kind hanging from the one vine. Wild grapes in the shade sometime become fine wine with a little sunshine. It's an hour past noon, can I get a one time? One time for your mind, one time for your mind. One guy from the squad, one guy from the squad, one guy from the squad. One time for your mind, one time for your mind. One guy from the squad, one guy from the squad, one guy from the squad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad. Not trying to be a prophet, but he who parted the sea is a part of me. When I look in my heart, I see the same history and mystery. I'm G-D'd up, I'ma read up with my feet up. Sabbath is just practice so we all get freed up. Please plant your seeds up, Israel's the bride and the groom's inside. One of a kind hanging from the one vine. Wild grapes in the shade sometime become fine wine with a little sunshine. It's an hour past noon, can I get a one time? One time for your mind, one time for your mind. One guy from the squad, one guy from the squad, one guy from the squad. One time for your mind, one time for your mind. One guy from the squad, one guy from the squad, one guy from the squad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
So there it is, the debut of our brand new lyric video for our Shema Prayer remix featuring Matt Bars and Textrich Ali. I really love that song. That's something that's become very special to me, not only as a prayer, but as a song. And since I've been working with the Rappers and Rabbis, musically speaking, that's one of my favorite jams that as a group we've all worked on together. It's very special. And speaking of special, we're going to move on to another special prayer right now called Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh is translated loosely to beloved of the soul. It is the title of a piyut and zamer, and it is usually sung on the Jewish Sabbath. We've been using this prayer every week that we've been doing these services because I believe it's just so important, and our rendering of it is just so beautiful and such a great mixture of the energies of the members of this fellowship. Beloved of the soul, the Father of compassion, draw your servant to will. Your servant will hurry like a hart to bow before your majesty. To him, your friendship will be sweeter than the dripping of the honeycomb and any taste. I mean, that's just such a beautifully well-written prayer. This song, as it means my soul's beloved, I want to just talk about love for a second, because you can have love for so many things in your life. So we're going to work on a video that's going to have all these different quotes about love, loving life, loving oneself, loving thy neighbor, etc., etc., etc. And what we're going to do is, while that song is playing, we'll have the quotes going down the screen. So if anybody in the chat knows a good quote about love, feel free to type a quote about love, or even just something that you love. Maybe it could be a confession of love. Just drop it in the chat. I see, feel free. And what I'm going to do before I play the prayer, I'm going to recite some of the quotes that we've picked out. Love is nothing in tennis, but in life, it's everything. I mean, that's just a classic zinger right there. Love is like a friendship that's set on fire. It's so true. It's just another zinger right there. Love is the poetry of the senses. I mean, it's just, there's so many great quotes about love. Let me read a few more that we have here. Um, Speaking of music, one Eli Joseph Cassman has said that love is a friendship set to music. And how true is that when you think of your loved ones and think of your friends? How often you think of a song that was playing. Even when people get married, they usually call their first dance, the song they dance to, their song. It's really just so beautiful. Love is a fever that ends with a yawn. Love is being anxious about another. Love is a trick to perpetuate mankind. Love is the egoism of two. Love is a twin sister with blindness. Love is but narcissism shared by two. Love is more easily made than defined. And we'll leave it at that. We'll save some quotes for next week. So now I want to play for y'all an amazing Rappers and Rabbis rendition of Yedid Nefesh. Again, thank y'all so much for joining in. This is the most updated version of this song that we have recorded that will be featured on our Rappers and Rabbis album coming very soon.
Beloved, would you stay a minute? Every day I'm running just to pay for something. When you pay a visit, Papa stunt the hustle. Put the money down, there's only one above you. So I set the table by the candlelight, cover up the bread and pour the wine. I'm a turning face before that door could whine. Cause when you stepping in, you make the floor divine. But you more than mine, this ain't no courting down for the time. Just to sport a wife, you the core of life. When the war inside, wanna warp the mind. You my tour guide, searching for advice in a horde of lies. I'ma organize, I'ma call my guys, hit up all the tribes. We gon' form a line, she gon' walk in. You can feel the vibes like na na na.
restoration, respiration into elation. For 6 days been waiting patient for the 7th Sabbath day sacred. Relaxation, restoration, respiration into elation. For 6 days been waiting patient for the 7th Sabbath day sacred.
And that is indeed one of the most special prayers that we have recorded and ready to release on our upcoming album. And, we've gone this far into the service, so I might as well just break it down. For anyone that's maybe just tuned in, or someone who's not of the Jewish faith, let me talk about exactly what is Shabbat. Shabbat, the Jewish Sabbath, is a weekly 25-hour observance that begins just before sundown each Friday and ends at nightfall on Saturday with the Havdalah service. Shabbat is a dedicated time each week to stop working, turn off your phones, forget about your emails, forget about your cares, forget about your worries, and focus more on the simple pleasures of life. I got to tell you, in this modern era, it's definitely not easy to do that, especially in a time when we're always working, always running errands, always joining in activities. It always seems to just never stop. But that's what makes the Sabbath so important. It's a time for you to take time for yourself, like we talked about, to practice proper mental, physical, and spiritual health, mind, body, and soul. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of play you a sample of a famous song. It's not really a song, it's a melody that's sung at most services, and it's part of the service where everybody just kind of forgets where they are and what they're doing, and all in unison breaks into dance. And as dance, like I said, is one of the integral hip hop art forms. I suggest while this beat plays for a little while, just bust out a little dance here and there. Anyone that's in the chat, feel free to drop some comments. If there's any rappers in the chat room that want to cipher and spit some rap bars over some of these prayers, drop a line in the chat and I'll send you the link to join into the live stream. So here we go is my instrumental reimagining of Bim Bom. So let's hope everybody busts a dance move really quick and enjoys the Sabbath for what it is, a time of peace and rest and enjoyment. So as this song is ending, I want to bring in the next song, almost like a rabbinical DJ. I'm going to play this song called Shalom Chavarim. Now this song, Shalom Chavarim, is also part of that moment in the service where everybody gets out of their seats and goes into the aisles of the synagogue and dances. But not only do they dance, they take time to greet each other, right? Now we're in a modern era, so greeting each other could be a fist bump. It could be an elbow bump. It could be a hug. It could be a high five. Any one of those things, right? And this song, Shalom Chavarim, is a beautiful Israeli folk song that can be sung as a simple melody or as a three-part round. It's literally translated to peace and friends. The word shalom has more depth and richness of meaning that can be contained in any single English word. Hebrew scholars suggest something closer to comprehensive well-being, but that's kind of difficult to set to music. And I've tried my best to make a beat right here that's uplifting, that celebrates the peace of the Sabbath with such an awesome groove and a beat with a melody. So what we do is play this song in synagogue while everybody is greeting and dancing. And this piece is useful as a welcoming, a blessing, or a sending song. It's a wonderful way to invite the group to connect visually through bows, handshakes, high fives, fist bumps, but most importantly, hugs. It's important to show love. Like I said, we're talking about mental, spiritual, and physical health, mental health awareness. And what not a great way to celebrate mental health awareness, physical health, and spiritual health by busting into a dance. And that's one of the best songs in the service to do so. So we're going to keep it moving. We got like 3 more prayers to go as we make our way through the Shabbat service. One of the most recognizable tunes of any Shabbat service is Hine Matovu Manayim. Hine Matovu is a Jewish hymn traditionally sung at Shabbat feasts. Oh, did I fail to mention that Shabbat is kind of all about the food? It's all about breaking bread, joining with your family, your loved ones, and your neighbors to enjoy a bountiful feast. It's for us to give thanks and to enjoy the fruits of our labors of a long work week as we enjoy the short Sabbath weekend. Its lyrics are from the first verse of Psalm 133, which is translated as "How good and how pleasant is it that people dwell together. Hine matovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Behold how good and how pleasing for all people to sit together in unity." And that's just, to me, is also very hip hop. Hip hop is a fabric that's woven through cultures all around the world. People of all ages, all races, all ethnicities can enjoy hip hop as well as they can enjoy Judaism and just in general being thankful to be around other people. So here we go with the remix of Hine Matovu Manayim. So we're going through a time in the world right now where it's so important to talk about and practice peace. Peace and love, as Purple said in our remix of Matovu. But especially right now, we're going to talk a little bit about peace. Peace could be meaning peace between people, but most importantly, peace within yourself. We are focusing this week as rappers and rabbis on mental health awareness. We had a program last night that featured and was hosted by our member Internal Rhyme. Jeremy, aka Internal Rhyme, was joined by Natalie Paz and Jessica Taflin as they wonderfully discussed the beauty of mental health awareness and how different things besides clinical therapy can be so important to mental health. One example that was brought up last night was yoga. Just practicing yoga, practicing breath control can bring you inner peace. But also, in doing yoga together as a group, it can bring together peace in the community. I don't think there's a city in the world that doesn't have yoga classes or yoga clinics, parks that feature free yoga classes. It's just something that is a worldwide phenomenon for practicing peace. And in talking about practicing peace, we're going to move on to our next song, Havinu Shalom Alechem, which is translated to "We brought peace unto you." Havinu Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem. We brought peace. Peace be upon you. It's so important to practice peace in your life, peace with each other, and peace with oneself. Like I was saying, our community is made up of rappers and rabbis. So normally when I play this song, we have some of the rappers jump in and rap about peace, rap about peace, rap about love, rap about current events, really rap about anything that has to do with peace and peacefulness. So what I'm going to do is play the beat right now. And if anybody wants to maybe put a prayer for peace in the chat, I'll feature it on the screen. So please feel free to join in the chat as we play this next song, Havinu Shalom Alechem. I had so much fun in remaking that beat, and normally we have such a great time as the rappers in our crew creatively freestyle and or rap written words about the subject of peace. Tomorrow night, join us, rappers and rabbis, at 9 p.m. as we present our Havdalah service. We will have special guests tomorrow night that are going to join in with me as I lead everybody in what we call a Cypher, a ring shot, if you will, a call and response where everybody will be joining in together, digitally, of course, virtually, to rap about peace and about love and about mental health awareness. So I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this next song for a second. It's called Shalom Alechem. It's a little bit different than the last song. It's a little bit more spiritual, a little more peaceful, if you will. Shalom Alechem is a spoken greeting in Hebrew, meaning peace be upon you. The appropriate response is Alechem Shalom. The plural form is even used when addressing one person because we wish that much peace on each other. It's a form of greeting is traditional among Jews throughout the world. It is more common among Ashkenazi Jews, but it's very, very popular greeting in other religions as well. The greeting of each other with peace is so important. So what I'm going to do is play this amazing rendition of Shalom Alechem that we've been working on that features such a beautiful, haunting female vocal. Thank y'all again for tuning in. We only got a couple more prayers to go. Thank y'all for sticking with me as I play Shalom Alechem. I'm so proud of that work right there. Shout out to our spiritual leader of Rappers and Rabbis, Rabbi Adam Meir, who is the one who sent me that a cappella vocal to kind of remix and make into something really, really special, something that's actually more on the R&B side of hip hop. But I'm from Philadelphia, so that's what I love. I love R&B and soul mixed with pop. All those genres together are part of the hip hop culture. And I think it's very special that we touched on it. You can look forward, like I said, to our album coming soon, and join in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for our Havdalah service, where I will have special guests rapping and singing along with some of these prayers and instrumentals that I've been playing tonight. Now we're going to take some time. If anybody in the chat wants to drop a name of somebody that's in their thoughts and prayers, I'm going to play an instrumental version of Misha Berach, one of the central Jewish prayers for those who are ill or recovering from illness or accidents. The name is taken from the first two Hebrew words of the prayer, and with a holistic view of humankind, it prays for physical cure as well as spiritual healing. It asks for blessing, compassion, restoration, and strength within the community of others facing illness, as well as all Jews, all human beings, and all animals of the world. It is translated into bless those in need of healing, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us all together pray silently and say Amen with the Misha Berach remix by myself. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. Thank you to Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West New Jersey for sponsoring this and other programs that we do every week. And right here, I'm going to play the Misha Berach as we have a silent prayer. Amen. The Misha Berach is such a peaceful and amazing, solemn prayer for wellness. Myself, I'm holding a lot of people in the light this week. I know a lot of people have been struggling this past year with, I'd just say, mental instability. It's been a tough year for everybody. I don't think there's anybody in the world who hasn't been affected by the events of this past year. In fact, mental illness or mental issues affects millions and millions and millions of people around the world. 1 in 5 adults in the United States alone experiences mental illness, while 1 in 6 U.S. youths aged 6 to 17 experience a serious mental health disorder each year. Despite the widespread prevalence of mental illness, many people are still unable to access care, sometimes with an average delay of 10 plus years between the onset of mental illness symptoms and its treatment. We are working all together around the world to ensure that society recognizes that mental health is an essential component of overall well-being, and to urge and ensure that all people have access to mental health care. As people around the world have grappled with COVID-19 and systemic racism, we now have a renewed focus on racial justice and mental health awareness. This week provides an important opportunity for us to all take a breath, practice peace and prayer, and take the opportunity to take stock of how both these issues of COVID-19 and systemic racism has affected mental health around the world. So what we're going to do now is something really, really special. One of the members of our Rappers and Rabbis group, Mr. E, has made a video for a song of his called Rise Above. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play our world premiere Shabbat service viewing of Rise Above by Mr. E. He will be live with us tomorrow night to talk more about the song himself and just tell you how important it is to practice mental well-being as well as physical and spiritual. So I hope y'all all enjoy this. This is a really special rap song by Mr. E.
This track goes out to anybody who ever been through dark times. Just know that you can rise above. Young kid from Jersey, let's just call him Chris. He's always getting picked on, he's always getting dissed. Opens up his mouth and he spits with a lisp. He don't like to talk, he has to speak with his fists. He's a lover, not a fighter, but he's always feeling pissed. Make a minimum wage, wishing he was rich. Never had a girl, never had a kiss. His mama told him take your shot, but every shot he took he missed. He wanna throw in the towel, ready to call it quits. Pulled out a razor and he put it to his wrist to put an end to the pain. Ready to end it quick, he said goodbye to the world. Alright, now this is it. But then he heard a voice and the voice told him this. Boy, drop the razor, it is not your time. Diamonds come from dirt before you see them shine. I know life's been rough, but you gon' be just fine if you could rise above. I know sometimes it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, but it's there, trust me. Teenage mother, her name's Samantha, born on the cusp of a Gemini and Cancer. Living on her own in an apartment in Atlanta. Raising two babies, needing money for their Pampers. Life is a test and she's searching for the answers. Dropped out of school, working as a private dancer. One of her clientele took her against her will. She tried to run for help, but he made her hold still, thinking this can't be real. The pain she can't conceal, in shock, missing meals. Packed a punch with a Plan B pill. She wore high heels, the hurt harder to heal. Fast forwards, feelings fester. Her baby daddy left her, can't deal with the pressure. Self-esteem on a stretcher. Ceiling fan, she pitched a rope and tied a knot around her throat. She looked at her kids, they smiled back and gave her hope. There's much more to live for. She can only endure and rise above. I know sometimes in life feels like we're at the end of our book, but really it's just the end of that chapter. Facts. Our story's still being written. Keep that pen moving, keep those wheels turning, keep that hope alive. Got this, baby. And most importantly, rise above.
So from myself and everyone at Rappers and Rabbis, I want you all to know that help is available. You can speak with someone today at the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Again, if you're seeking help with any sort of mental issues that you're having, it is available. You can call right now the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. We are practicing mental health awareness as a fellowship, but also suicide prevention. And right now I'm going to take a moment to pray for anyone around the world that is dealing with any sort of mental issues right now. Amen. And on a lighter note, somebody just said in the chat that they're praying for the Sixers tonight. Sports is something that brings life out of people. So coming out of this past year of COVID, it's so great to see people out enjoying life again. And this final song that we're going to play tonight is all about enjoying life. This is a closing song used in most Jewish services. It's called Ein Keloheinu. Ein Keloheinu is a well-known Jewish hymn. Orthodox Jews pronounce it as Ein Kelokeinu when referring to it outside of prayer, in order to avoid taking the name of God in vain or otherwise violating the sanctity of reverence to the Almighty. Ein Kelohenu is sometimes chanted at the end of morning services as well as evening services, and is such a joyous prayer for people to enjoy together. And again, a chance for everyone to get out of their seats, greet each other with hugs, fist bumps, high fives, and dance around and just enjoy the beauty of the Sabbath. So right now, I'm going to play, just a short, brief version of Ein Kelohenu. Normally, we have rappers at our service that rap along with the song. And like I said, tomorrow night at 9 p.m., we will have special guests who will be ciphering along with these instrumentals. So as we come to the end of our service, I just want to remind everybody this weekend and moving forward to practice peace. Peace with each other and peace within ourselves. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Praised is the Lord by day, praised is the Lord by night. Praised when we lie down, and praised when we rise up. I place my spirit in his care when I wake, as also when I sleep. God is with me, I shall not fear, body and spirit in his keep. May we all practice peace around the world with each other, mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. May we all be aware of everybody else's problems and surround each other with love and kindness and peace moving forward into the Sabbath. I hope y'all can catch us tomorrow night at 9 p.m. as I'll have special guests right here on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Thank you to Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West New Jersey. You can follow them at JFedMW on Instagram, and also follow us on Instagram at Rappers and Rabbis. Also, thanks to Restream for providing the technology to make this service possible. I go by Digital Crates, and I just want to wish y'all a blessed Sabbath. Amen. Thank you all so much for joining in, and have a great night.